Okay, the whole point of that video was nothing more than warming up the crowd to understand that when I say execution, not only the guys that murdered me, then I woke up later, those guys definitely need to be executed. I'm talking about all the military guys that have undoubtedly supported them and signed affidavits that say they are just like Tom and the other bows, but they have wings too. And they're hiding the fact that they're falsely propagating wings on themselves with Bluetooth somehow. Those people, if they're showing up in kids, the second that person changes a human through me in secret so he can get a wife as well, which is what they did, that guy should be executed. That woman made completely different decisions because she's a little girl that grows up in a small town in the Midwest. He goes there on a Navy operation, and she has grown up with this guy named Brady Joe. And Brady Joe and her were farmers, and they were the town cutest high school sweethearts, right? Well, when he gets into town, he sees Jamie Joe and goes, oh my God, I want a Jamie Joe. Hey, and it goes back to Coronado, and he does a little secret phone call, and they changed Jamie Joe through me and some kind of barcode thing somehow. Really what they were doing. Now Jamie Joe's gonna see him when he walks past her every day for the whole 3 weeks he's there. And by the second week, she's already sleeping with him. And Brady Joe's going, I don't know what's going on, but my girl is not here. And she was always with me. But the second the Navy got there to do an operation, they all picked out a girl in town and got one. And now, Jamie Joe, who was a sweetheart from a honest, good town with just good upbringing, is like, Mom, you bitch, I'm gonna go with my new boyfriend because he told me you're full of shit and I need to stand up for myself, you know? And she leaves. And now she's in California, and then the first thing he does is he treats her like shit because they all treated their girlfriends like shit. And she just turns into another Navy wife that has fallen prey to this thing they were doing through me. And that is the extra guilty party that I have not identified because they were attacking me so much. I just went after the 3 bows at first, but now I want a clean house. And for everyone else that's gonna get executed, when I said there's other people, high-ranking people, that are Navy guys, that are doing my thing, and they act like they're better than me when I go to the gym or something back then, that's what I'm talking about. And I think people should take me serious and know that I was like the best guy in high school. I went to high school, I was like, except for the fact that I smoked marijuana, I was a good guy. I was team captain of the wrestling team. I was a sweetheart. All the girls loved me. I wasn't an asshole, not till later. Okay, and even then I don't want to be. You guys just jumped in my head and I couldn't do anything but start thinking crazy to try to get people out of me. Other than that though, what you need to know is that now that we can clean house, the European Union should be in charge of overseeing the president and the execution for this. And here's why. There's gonna be so many military people that need to be executed that what's gonna happen is they're gonna say, we'll take care of it, we'll execute them. And then they'll give them all face surgeries. And they'll just come back as Steve instead of Joe. I want the European Union to oversee every goddamn execution to make sure those mother effers get executed. I want to attend every single one of them and verify that list. I want to be 20,000 times worse than I was as Hughes or whoever the hell I was when I ran the FBI back in the whatever. I was Dean Ford, whatever. I want to be way worse than that, okay? Because I was a nice guy in the 50s and 60s, and I'm not a nice guy now anymore because I know what you do to me when I like relax and let you guys have a little bit of a menu selection system in your eyebrow. That's never happening again. My tubes are my tubes. If you don't want to see me, that girl can tie her tubes. There's no more selection ever again. I will never get. I don't want to be people's bad guy. I'm everyone's God bless you guy. I don't want to do anything wrong. But we got to get these guys taken out of the loop. And they, for some reason, think I have no civil rights, and it's funny. but that's because they're all doing a crime that they know they could either go to jail for 50 years for or get executed. Personally, if they changed her eyes out and she just instantly fell in love with him because he said it was natural and he survived death, well, I think he should be executed. And I will wait for the Americans to all vote on this once all the facts are laid out. But I recommend that Europe take care of it and just administer a goddamn watch person over the president and his administration, because they obviously didn't do it right, or they got lied to and had to do it a certain way. Well, I'm tired of people lying to our president and the American government just because they want to keep using my steelhead forever. You're not going to do it. Okay, I'm just trying to warm the American social media audience up with why I'm so adamant on executing these guys. You gotta understand, changing this woman through me is possible, and they wouldn't know it. And they did all the testing on me at my building where I worked at with the girls at work. And what they did was they used my cell phone configuration before I knew I had one. And then they would say, okay, girls, can you feel John thumping you? Yes. Okay, that's this mode. Okay, girls, can you feel, they did this with Navy girls. Then they'd say, okay, girls, can you feel John thumping you and see just the lower part of his body? Yes. Okay. Now, can you feel John thumping you and see us on top of his body as covering his face, but it looks like us is thumping you? Yes, we can see that. Okay, girls. Now, which one makes you the most ready to go to bed with me when I show up? Oh, well, if you set John up like this, then we're wetter than a water faucet. Okay, so can you see this setup? And can you see the wetter than the water faucet? Uh-huh, and I'm ready to go with you now. No, hold on. Now, can you still feel it but not see it? Uh-huh. Oh my God. Okay, can you, on this button, can you be feeling the water exactly like the water faucet one but not see it, so you don't really know anything happened? But when I enter the room, within 20 feet of me, I'll hit the button. The second you see me, do you think that's me? Uh-huh. Yeah, if you hit the button, it works right away. But if you wait till you walk right up to me and hit the button, now I think it's you. And I think just being around you is worth sitting around forever and waiting for and changing all my life decisions, because you're configuring John's cell phone illegally, and John's over there in the office working 8 hours today, and this guy's been there for 2 months working with all these girls in the secret room next to John. And this is exactly what happened, and this is how the Navy guys got my thing. Now who's the funny one? Now who's the not serious one? I've been serious about this, because that's the one crowd, and then the other crowd went ahead and started changing people's eyes out as well. So they see the babies, so that the babies actually see him. That's definitely executable. But I think all the Navy guys that knew what they were doing, you see, they lied and said no, they actually, I know the president had to have them sign some kind of waiver that says, well, the president's not going to get taken out, because it was Obama, and I know Obama's okay. So here's the deal. I think they did something that said, if we're lying, it's penalty of perjury, we'll go to jail. And they signed it. But what they didn't go over is the fact that they changed every woman's decision that they walked by and used this button pushing tactics on. And now Jamie Jo from a little farm town isn't Jamie Jo, and she's a drug addict girl married to a husband that beats her. And that is changing someone's constitutional rights and destiny, because she was born this way until he showed up and changed her eyes. And she didn't ask to have her eyes changed. He just did it because he worked in Coronado and had access to me in secret. And they committed a coup against me, and they didn't care about the women. So that's how I'm trying to warm America up for why they need to take the defense on. If you're going to take my side, John Locke's side, the real Gerald Ford side, well then you need to understand that you're going to have to come across voting on whether or not these people should be executed. And this is the preliminary warm-up introduction to why I really feel a lot of them should be executed. I hope this video goes over well. God bless America. No, not God bless America. God bless the planet. And I hope the people don't perish because people don't decide to execute these guys, when in fact they're changing everyone's life and they don't even know it. Everyone makes a different decision after someone changes out their eyes and didn't tell them Or they were doing it in the blind and just hitting buttons on them, and they didn't know why. They wanted to sit with him instead of her high school sweetheart. Because when she sat with him, he thumped her pussy like for 1,000 times, and she didn't know what was happening. So she said, I just like him, sorry. So this stuff is executable. If you really, really want to examine what it is to have a United States citizen, an American citizen. As an American citizen, that's your body. He doesn't own it, but he walked up and pressed buttons on it because he knew how to change it through me, Gerald Ford. And I'm in this fake state where they said they're going to be responsible for me. And when they're responsible for me, they committed all kinds of crimes that should be executed for. In France, they would get executed. So I want to warm Americans up for executing these guys. Thank you. I hope this is right. If not, I'll take it off YouTube in a week when everyone yells at me. Bye.